Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the ITRAD Fantasy Podcast. Before we start, I'd like to apologize that we couldn't get a show going last week. Had some scheduling issues, on my part. I apologize for that, but we're back this week. And so, first things first, we're gonna take a little recap of what happened last week. We saw some interesting games, you could say, last week. We saw Kenny and Nick, the big Showtime battle that went on, ended with Kenny having George Kittle outscore Saquon Barkley. Um, some would call it the luck of the Irish. I don't know how he does it, but Kenny's team 7-3 right now, looking to take first place this week.
Um, yeah. This he's in first place, but is Nick in second?
I think
Yeah,
Nick's in
no,
sixth.
Sonny's in
Sonny and
second.
him are tied for first place right now.
Yeah, but Sonny still by far has like
Yeah, his
terrible.
points score is like almost 300 less.
Oh,
I don't know if we had. Oh, we had my game against Diego. I finally beat Diego for the first time in years. My team did pretty good. I had Ertz, who got me 42 points in his debut for the team. That was pretty crazy. I was ecstatic about that. We saw a team can't hide my Chubb put up 164.9 points. Who would have ever thought? This is a team that had the lowest PF for weeks, has been ranked in the bottom spot continuously, and his team just went off this week and went up against Philly Special, who put up 57.5 points. Um, Randall Cobb got him 0. Sony Mitchell got 3. Joe Mixon 10. Mike
also,
Evans 8.
also Julian's team would have scored more if he had a better defense than the Jets
Yeah,
defense.
and he had a
Minus six.
negative six score for the defense. Jeez. And he had Kenny Galladay on his bench with 20 points.
Those Browns players just have a place in his heart, and
Nick
they just
Chubb
keep
had
scoring.
37.9 points. Player that I did have on my bench for weeks before I dropped him, unfortunately. We saw Silicon Valley put up a 187-point performance. This team, I feel like, is definitely going to be in the playoffs come that time. Suck My Dicka beat Brooklyn Trey 171.5 to 126.2. We won't talk about that. Anyway, let's get into it. So we'll start off with our lock upsetting game of the week. Who do you got as your lock this week?
My lock this week has to be Fear Peter's Tigers actually over Julian's team.
Really?
Yes. Um, I think this is the week where like just for some reason like I don't know, Sonny's been having off weeks, but like not. Well, he lost last week, right? Oh no,
Yeah.
and then he beat me, and then he lost. So this week should be his bounce back week, a miraculous week with probably like someone like OBJ going off for like 40 points or something dumb like that. And also, I just see Julian's team just not producing enough this week. I think all of his players have all right matchups. Like he has Doug Martin starting this week
Yeah, he
against
does
the
have. I
Cardinals.
mean, the Cardinals, I'm pretty sure one of the worst run defenses, so might be.
Yep.
I mean, he's got Brandon Cooks, who is gonna be playing the Chiefs, so that'll be a high scoring game. He's got Mahomes too. But I don't know about Sonny's team. I mean, he's got Burton versus Minnesota. That's a good defense right there. Corey Davis, you never. I mean, he's not really a guy I would trust as a weekly starter, but he is for Sonny. He's got. I don't know why Sonny is, but he's starting the Rams defense. Not really a smart move.
He probably doesn't want to drop anyone. I'm guessing.
I mean, he's got an empty
Oh
spot on
yeah,
his
he
bench
does.
already.
I don't know. He probably isn't checking the league. Bad player.
Lamar Miller, against Washington, I don't know. Lamar Miller just doesn't have it anymore. But my lock of the week actually is Team X. Um, this is a team that has been playing pretty dominant over the past couple weeks, going up against Kevin, who put up 57 points last week. He's got some matchups on his side. Unfortunately for Kevin, Jimmy Graham did break his thumb yesterday, but Moving
Yeah,
on.
but
Oh, what was that?
my thing is with this Kevin team, this is like you see his lineup right now: Mixon, Cook, Hopkins, Evans. This is like his main this is what he's supposed to be having all season, and he's
Yeah.
finally getting that back. Like I'm not sure why he scored so low last week, but like I feel like he's gonna come back. Well, not I don't think he's gonna win, but he's probably gonna score like probably like one time.
Yeah. Uh, my upset of the week actually is Team Chubb. I have Team Can't Hide My Chubb upsetting Sonny this week, bringing Sonny down to a 7-4 record.
Slime Team 6 blowing up.
We'll do some Turkey Bowl coverage after this, but so I do see Julian winning this week solely because he's got Mahomes and Cooks playing in those games. And I think Mahomes is definitely going to have a big stat line. Cook's going to have a big stat line, especially with Cooper Kupp's injury, too. Cooper Kupp's out for the season. So I don't know if that would be better for Cooks or worse for him. I don't know.
You never know. Everyone thinks this game might be high scoring, but you never know because sometimes it might be low scoring, like really defensive.
Might be a chess match.
Yeah. Which I see I don't even know who I see that winning that game. Is that what game is that moved to? Where was
Monday
that moved
night
to?
in LA.
Yeah. If you bought a ticket from Mexico.
Any fans out there, any Mexican fans watching our podcast bought a ticket. Sorry about that. Who do you have as your upset?
My upset, it's probably going to be. I don't know how much of an upset it is, but like I think Diego might win this week against Kenny.
I would count that as an upset. Diego's definitely the underdog in that match.
Yeah, because Kenny's number one. So.
Did you get a haircut?
Yes, I did.
I noticed. Looks good.
Thanks, but because look, Larry Fitzgerald has came back a little bit. After San Francisco, he scored 28 points. Kansas City, he scored 11. So this week he might actually like do something, considering the entire Cardinals offense is just doing better in general, and now they're facing Oakland.
Yeah.
So they should be winning, and Kareem Hunt and them. I don't know. I just see his team upsetting because I don't know if Dion Lewis will be doing anything and Jared Cook, but you never know with Kenny. He's a magician.
Game of the week. We probably both have the same game of the week if I had to guess. Mine is Silicon Valley versus Suck My Dicka. This was a matchup that, let me pull up the score real quick from the last time that they played. I think it was about over 300 points combined. 350. Was it 350 points?
Let me look up the schedule right now. Suck my dick. Yes, 182 to 169.
Yeah, so that's kind of a Rams Chiefs matchup there in itself.
Yeah, that's a game to watch. That's like one of the best games of the season.
Especially because they're both in that playoff hunt right now. Simon is 4-6, Eddie's 5-5. So this would be a big win for whoever comes out victorious in that one.
This is a big week for everyone, pretty much.
Yeah, this is a big week.
I think if you win this week, you're in. Like you're still alive.
If anyone in the bottom 5 loses this week, that's just not good news for them.
But you never know. People aren't really that far behind at this point.
Yeah, it's very close still. Yeah. Everyone's. I mean, the large differential really. I mean, we got 2 7-3 teams, 6-4, 3 5-5 teams, 3 4-6 teams, and 3-7 team. So I don't know who's gonna.
No one.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to find out. But that last week's gonna be crazy.
Technically, I don't know. I don't know if people have clinched. I think only Kenny and Simon probably the only one clinched.
I think Kenny and. I mean, if Sonny loses out, it depends how everyone else.
Oh
does.
Yeah, unless they lose out. But anyway.
Moving on to the power rankings. At my number 10 spot, unfortunately, I have Brooklyn Treyway just because of that record and the lowest points for in the league right now. Not much I could really say about that.
Yeah, I have myself at number 10 too. It's
still time to come back though.
Sad season so far. You never know. David Johnson has been turning up.
David Johnson had a nice game last week.
I think he's at 37 points. This is the David Johnson. We were meaning to see it all season. Maybe he can turn it up. He can turn it up this week. He might be my love of the week against Oakland.
Number 9, I have Can't Hide My Chubb. Finally getting out of that number 10 spot for the first time, I think, on this show ever. A big win last week.
Yeah, I have him too. I just don't know how he's gonna play out the rest of the season, but you never know. This is a very tight race.
Number 8, I have Philly Special. Just because that 57-point performance was just really bad. So he moved down quite a bit in my rankings there.
Yeah, Kevin's team is also my number 8, also because his 57-point performance. But I don't know. I like his team, but like now that Graham is like done for, I don't see like who's gonna be like filling in. I don't know. Jimmy Graham
Kevin,
was.
if you're watching, Njoku's still on my bench. Just saying.
Yes, and Gronk might be on the block considering he hasn't played in like 3 weeks.
Moving on, I have at my number 7 spot, Sheck West Fan Club. This is a team that had a strong start to the season and just kind of fell off. Who do you have at your number 7?
Number 7, I actually have numero uno, and I don't know. I was just comparing you and Diego's team. I just think Diego's team's a little bit better. I mean, Ertz did have that 41-point performance that did save you, but like also hurt you in the FAU league. But anyway, that Marlin. But I don't know.
I'll get my revenge this week.
I just don't know. I don't know if this team. Our team might be a good game too this week.
Yeah,
between me and you. I just hope Ertz gets locked down.
Revenge.
I hope Ertz gets locked down by someone this week. That's the only thing I can hope for.
My number 6 spot, I have myself only over Diego just because of that head-to-head win from last week.
Yeah, I also have Diego at this spot. Like I said, I was just comparing you two. You guys are pretty close.
Number 5, I actually have at number 5 Fiorepitas Tigers. I don't think he's better than any of the teams that I haven't mentioned yet, to be honest. He's definitely got the weakest team right now out of that bunch of that top 5.
He might have the weakest team on the entire league, let's be honest.
Nothing but facts.
He just got lucky. I mean, like his James White, right? Like what are you gonna do? James White has the most receiving yards.
James White won in like 3 games, so
yeah, like without like say if he had my bye and he faced anyone else this week, literally it'd be game over for them. For him.
Who do you have at your 5?
At my number 5, I also have him because his team is really I don't know. He might lose out still. He's been losing. Like all of his losses have been like in the last like 4 weeks.
At my number 4 spot, I have Silicon Valley. This is a team that's had a really bad start to the season, but made some moves, and his team's looking really good right now. He's got Gordon, Elliott, Tyreek, and Juju. Pretty solid squad right there. I feel like he's definitely going to be able to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I also have Simon, and I don't know. His team is good, but his team is playoff caliber, but I just don't know. I just have a fear that one of these players might just like bust one week and boom, this game is over. Like someone like Greg Olsen has been like turning up, kind of. I mean, the past like 4 weeks he's been like catching touchdowns like nonstop, but without those touchdowns, I don't know.
At number 3, I have Suck My Dicka. This is another team who didn't really have a strong start to the season, but made some moves, and now they're in the playoffs as of right now.
For my number 3, I don't have I have Kenny actually, and this is because comparing his team to Nick's and Ed's, I just don't know because like he's been getting awfully lucky. Like I don't know, he might be one of the luckiest players in the league.
I mean, he's always been. For the past 2 years.
I don't know.
His first year in the league, I think he went to the championship and
lost.
Yeah,
first year he went to the league, he lost, and then last year
didn't even know how to draft. Literally, what players to pick either. I don't know how he did it. And also, you gotta remember, it was a live draft too, so he didn't even have auto picking to help him.
It was just random. He took a
I don't know
chance.
how I don't know how it worked, but
I don't know. People have been turning up for him for some odd reason. I just don't get it. Like I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like one week. I don't know. I feel like head to head to Nick and what's he called and Ed. Might lose, and like that's who he's probably gonna face in the
yeah.
playoffs. So
Um, at my number 2 spot, I have Team X, uh, solely because him and Kenny did face off this weekend. Kenny won. Kenny also has more points for, so I just had to give Nick that 2 spot.
um, for my number two, I also have Nick. And actually, wait, am I reading this right? Wait. Yeah, I also have Nick, and I just don't know because let's just say my number one, Ed. I just don't see his team losing. Like I don't know, people like the trades he's made has just made his team amazing. He has McCaffrey, Gurley, Michael Thomas, and Boyd, and Travis Kelce. I just don't see him losing out anymore. So
Uh, I believe that means you had Nick at your number 1, right?
no, Nick at number two because Ed
Oh,
is my number one, and his
Ed
team
is
is
your
not
number
gonna.
1.
Yes,
Interesting.
I don't know. I just think Ed is just his team is just I don't know. McCaffrey gets all the receptions.
Yeah.
Gurley gets the start of your week. Michael Thomas is always getting his shit. And Tyler Boyd's like the number one receiver on his team. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league. I don't know. This Hick man, just making the trades, raping Sonny.
Moving on, we have a new segment this week. Playoff predictions as of right now. I'm just gonna go through my matchups that I have for the first round of the playoffs. Um, I see Kenny going out with the 1 seed, getting a first round bye, along with Nick. I think they're both gonna have a first round bye. Now, my 4 seed I have as Sonny. I feel like Sonny's definitely gonna drop to that 4 seed. And I see him playing Simon at the 5 seed in the playoffs. And I see Eddie sneaking at that 3rd seed, and I see myself getting at that 6th seed right now. So if the season pans out the way I want it to, I'll be playing Ed at the 6th seed. I think I could definitely sneak in there, no doubt.
Um, yeah, I have everyone you said pretty much. You didn't say Diego,
No,
or did
I
you?
think Diego's gonna fall out along with Kevin.
You think Diego's gonna fall out?
Yeah, his schedule's not the best these last 3 games.
But have yeah, yeah, his schedule is not
He's
too
got he's
good.
got he's got Kenny this week. He's got you next week, and then he's got Simon week 13 that he could easily go 0-3 in these last weeks of the regular season. And if he does go 0-3, I don't think he's gonna make it into the playoffs.
I don't know, man. I don't know. 6 seed might be up for contention. I think.
6th seed is up definitely for anyone.
Um, I don't know. I have Kenny, not in any order because it's hard to predict right now. Like I have no idea. I think Ed might win out, but you never know because Kenny has a good record right now. So I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be Kenny, the top five right now. I think Diego's gonna make it. Actually, nah. No, I'll have Kenny, Sonny, Nick, Ed, Simon, and the 6 seed. I just have no clue. Like, you never
I
know.
feel like somebody is going to get definitely someone's gonna get there's gonna be a tie for 6, and points for is gonna get someone knocked out of the playoffs. If you look at the points for now, you'll see the disadvantages that teams have already. Such as Sonny's got low points for, but I think his record's good enough to just keep him into the playoffs. Kevin's points for right now is at 1,160.5, being the lowest out of all, second lowest out of all teams. Definitely why I think he's gonna fall out. I think he's gonna end up tying, but his points for is just gonna screw him over. Um, Everyone else really, I just I see Eddie. Eddie definitely is gonna make it, in my opinion. Eddie and Simon are definitely gonna make it. Um, I don't see Kevin making it, And I feel like Diego is going to lose either all three of his next games or two out of his. I don't see him winning more than one of his next three games.
Yeah, he has a tough schedule. He has a really tough. He probably has the toughest schedule left.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know. I
Um,
have I have Diego and Kenny left, and you. Kenny's gonna be fucking gay. He's probably gonna drop like 400 points or something. Dumb.
400 points. Next up we have our pick'ems of the week. First matchup I have is Numero Uno versus Brooklyn Treyway. The matchup we've been waiting for since this podcast started. I think both sides are not going to bet against each other. I just see it being a really good game, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm really crossing my fingers on this game. Like I actually like, to be honest, I want to say I'm gonna win, but like there's no telling. Like,
yeah, I after last week, I don't count wins before Tuesday.
This is where fantasy gets nerve-wracking.
Yes.
Like, I just have no opinion on this game. I don't know. 'Cause TJ Yeldon has been like good. Like, he's been steady. He hasn't gone under 10 points like this entire season. And that's really all I need from this guy. But I just need my receivers to turn up, and I'll be good.
Yeah. Next matchup we have Sheck Fan Club versus Team Impala. I honestly think this is an easy one for me. I see Team Impala winning this. I mean, he's got Kamara versus Philly, which I think that game is gonna be in Kamara's favor. I don't see the Saints losing that game, especially after the Eagles just lost to the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football in Philly.
Kevin, fuck you.
Thielen, we'll see how Thielen does this week. I mean, Diggs is back, so Thielen might be able to go off again. He had 2 catches, I think it was. He had a touchdown though, so he didn't shit the bed. But I think he only had 2 catches for 20 yards last week.
Yeah,
So
Thielen is still by far the best receiver in the league, fantasy-wise.
Yeah, he's still ranked number 1. My bad, 4 catches for 22 yards last week.
Although Kenny's team like has good players, I just don't know. I think like the games
He doesn't have as much depth as the other strong teams, but he just wins.
The games might be like a winner. Like, you might pick out a winner, but I don't see all of his matchups like the Saints and Eagles, like, and the Houston, and like, I don't know. All these games this week are really good, like NFL wise, and I think they might all be close. So you never know if it. You never know. And this is my upset with Diego, hoping for Diego to turn up this week. It would be big for the entire league if Diego won this week.
Yeah, if Diego won, that'd be crazy. Next matchup, Philly Special versus Team X. Obvious one for me. This is my lock of the week. Team X, I see winning it. I mean, I would have called this before last night, but he already had Devontae Adams and fucking Aaron Jones go off for 28 points each. So that's another running back that Nick now has James Conner, Saquon Barkley, and if Aaron Jones continues to put up numbers like this, his team's gonna be scary.
Yeah, I have him winning this game too. I mean, he already has 55 points. And it's confirmed now. James Conner is the running back for the rest of the season. But I don't know. Is he still questionable? He's probably playing, but if he doesn't play, that would be big for it. Wouldn't really. I don't know if that would really matter.
Is he hurt? I didn't even know he was hurt.
He was practicing, but he has to go through concussion protocol and pass. To play. And yeah. So I don't know. If he doesn't play, then who knows? Maybe this game is closer than we might have thought.
He played a full practice yesterday, so. But next matchup we have Can't Hide My Chubb versus Fear Peter's Tigers. This is a matchup that I think definitely is a winnable game for Julian. I see him winning it. I don't know who's gonna. I mean, OBJ has the potential to go off, but other than that, I mean, he's got Big Ben playing Jacksonville in Jacksonville. He's got Lamar Miller playing Washington in Washington. He's got Leonard Fournette, who did have a nice game last week, but it was a very touchdown dependent game. He would have only had like not 5 points. He would have had about. I mean, he had 24 carries for 53 yards, but that game was also a shootout. So I don't know how. I don't know how they'll really use him this week, considering that I mean he did come off heavy injury. They used him a lot last week. If they
Um,
if they if they bell cow him this week, then I'll say he's back.
the Jags are always seem to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, so
The thing with that
maybe.
Jags D is that they're good, but they don't show up sometimes.
Yeah, the famous Hugh said that they play shit against the AFC South teams, but when they play every other team, they show up, and I think that's actually accurate. Because like they usually they
I
should
mean,
be
they beat the
killing people.
Patriots, right? They beat
Yeah,
the
they
Patriots.
yes they should be killing people. Like I don't understand. Their defense was hyped up. They had like what the
Yeah, they
best.
had they had like one of the best scoring defenses ever last year, and then this year they're ranked like 19 in fucking fantasy. I traded for them, hoping that they're ranked 22 right now. What 22 teams are doing better than the fucking Jaguars? I don't know.
Colts, Tennessee, Arizona.
Either way, I see Cooks having a big game. I feel like Cohen could be slept on this week and have a good game.
Yeah,
Especially because they're playing in Chicago, and I don't see the Vikings giving them a
a
lot of room
problem.
to run. I see Cohen getting a lot in that passing game like he always does, and I feel like he's definitely gonna. I don't see Jordan Howard doing anything really
Yeah,
against them.
this might be a look for like where the fuck is Jordan Howard week?
Yeah,
Because I don't know. Cohen is now the 12th ranked running back in the league. That's crazy. He
I mean
hasn't. Uh,
PPR is the wave. So receiving running backs are just dominant really now. I mean I
yeah,
don't even know who's a running back that doesn't catch passes that is that good to use in fantasy. I can't think of any really.
maybe I don't know. Because every running back pretty much catches now. If you
Yeah,
can't catch,
I,
you're bad.
exactly. I mean, AP had some nice games with rushing stats. Other than that, really,
Yeah, he's also been bell cowed though. Because
yeah.
anyway,
Next matchup, most interesting matchup, Silicon Valley versus Suck My Dicka. I really had a hard time deciding who's gonna win this game. I mean, I'm still looking at the matchups now, and I don't know if I picked the right one, but um, I feel like Simon could win this game. I really do. I really think he can. It's not going to be an easy one under any means, but I definitely think he can pull it out. I mean, Eddie's got Tyler Boyd as wide receiver 2, who has been dominant, not dominant, who's been good some games. He's on and off. He has a 30-point performance. He scores in the 20s a lot, but this is going to be his first game starting without AJ Green, which
no, that
I
was last week.
did he play? Oh yeah, that's right. They did play last week, and he
And
only
he
had
only
nine
had 10
points.
points. Remember you
So
said it's like Thielen
yeah, it's like
without.
Thielen without Diggs. I just don't see him being a dominant wide receiver 1 against number 1 corners in this league. Ravens defense also is good, so I don't. And they're in Baltimore, but it is a rivalry game. Last time they played the Ravens, AJ Green had 3 touchdowns. So
Embarrassing. I was so mad. I was so retarded. But I have Ed this game just because of the names. Is like they're just like established people who just go off every week, and I think it's like no matter what. To be honest,
I mean, Gurley definitely one of them. Yeah.
yeah, I just think like they just get their work in, and like that's what like makes them good.
I
That's what
mean,
makes
and
them,
and and the Eagles are without Darby this week too for the rest of
yeah.
the
So
season.
Michael
Michael
Thomas always
Thomas
eats.
might eat big time.
Yeah.
In our last segment, we have our love hate. Who's your love for the week?
I said this before. I think it's David Johnson for me. He's coming off a huge game and he's playing the Oakland Raiders. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's everyone playing the Oakland Raiders is always in for some success.
Yeah, the Raiders is the new Bills from like the beginning of the season, if you
The
remember.
Raiders is the new start
Browns.
anybody who's playing the Browns offense pretty much
Yeah,
at
but
any position either. Really, I mean, Nick Mullins, three
go.
touchdowns.
Let's see. Wait, what is this? What has he been doing? Does anyone have Nick Mullins?
I don't know.
No, no one has Nick Mullins.
I don't think anybody really needs him that bad. But
Oh, he's on a bye this week.
my love of the week is AB. I see AB eating against Jalen Ramsey just because Jalen Ramsey talks so much shit that I think AB is, and Steelers are also out for their revenge. So I think it'll definitely be a good game for him. I think Big Ben. I think that whole Steelers team is gonna be riled up this week now that Le'Veon Bell is officially gone.
Yeah, they're gonna be
I
like, I
think
don't
this is
need
gonna
you.
be an important game to them.
Yeah.
Who's your hate of the week?
For me, my hate is comes off Julian's team, and that is Mr. Doug Martin. And I know it's just because it's an Oakland Raider, and I just don't like them.
Yeah.
Just like they suck. I think he's not going to be getting the work. It's going to be Jalen Richard, which I thought he had on his team,
I think he
but
might have dropped him.
someone picked him up. Who was it? I think it might have been Ed for some reason. Yeah, it was Ed. Jalen Richard has been having literally like 10 points ever since they just started like being totally bad. So
My hate of the week is actually T.Y. Hilton, just because those AFC South matchups are always. I mean, when the Jaguars and Titans played, I think the final was 9-6. So those games could either be high scoring or they could be low scoring. Like what was the final of the Colts game this weekend?
it was like 27-24.
Yeah, and the
It's because the
Jaguars.
Colts blew it at the end.
I don't know. I don't trust that
Yeah, the Tennessee
matchup right
Titans are
there.
Tennessee Titans are good too. They're going to be
Yeah.
a playoff team this year. I think. I want the Colts to win, but obviously, you never know.
And I think with that, we could wrap this one up. Wishing everybody some luck this week, except for you, of course. But yeah. So anything you have to say to viewers before we leave?
Wait. So wait. Later in next week, what are we gonna be? Turkey Bowl coverage or no?
Turkey Bowl coverage may come. Maybe some Turkey Bowl coverage.
That would be hype.
Do a quick little video on some Turkey Bowl coverage.
Some
Might be a little biased though, since we're both on the
Prius.
same team.
We can get Julian for that.
We actually, yeah, it's true. We can get Julian for that one.
Both coaches talking. We can get the number one picks in. Big
It'll
Julian.
be like they do in UFC when they have that
Yes.
the weigh-ins when they just sit there and talk shit to each other.
That's gonna be an exciting game. Make sure you guys tune in next week. I hear we have some camera crew coming or something.
Yes, big going down at Gernert Field, 1245 Old Freehold Road. Be there, 1:00, November 23rd. Let's get right.
That's one of the biggest games of this entire. This is probably bigger than the Rams Chiefs game this week, boy. Talking a lot of shit talk this entire 2 months now, like literally. Hold on, wait. Did you not pick Sonny Pito on purpose?
Oh, of course.
You picked Simon over Sonny.
Yeah, I wasn't picking Sonny.
Good. Wait, how did you establish your first pick anyway?
Oh, obviously Big Julian. I mean,
No, how did you establish getting first pick?
Coin toss.
Oh, okay, good. That would have been bad if you had I don't know.
Anyway, thank you for everyone that's been watching. Glad to bring you another episode. We'll be back next week. And with that, we're gonna sign off.
Have a good weekend.